Check, 1, 2, talking. It's good. Okay, great. Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's Comic-Con studio. I'm Sam Heifel, and I'm joined now by the cast of Let the Right One In. Andrew, I want to start with you, because obviously you've got a book, you've got 2 movies. What made you want to make this into a show?
I appreciate you including me in the cast. I mean, I feel like visually it's pretty clear which one's the writer and which one's not the actor here. I adored the book and the film. Probably the most emotional and moving horror film I've ever seen. And that's honestly what drew me to it, that it was a terrifying story about vampires, but at the core of it was a love story. And I think it pulled on my heart, and it's such a privilege to be here with these folks and launching the show.
Yeah. Well, and I know you've talked about you wanted to, because obviously we have a friendship here that is a big part of the story, but you also kind of shifted it a bit to be more about father-daughter, right? Why did you want to do that?
I was just incredibly interested in what a parent will do for their child, in particular when the child is struggling with an affliction, struggling with an addiction, in this case, an addiction to blood. And that was something that just in my own personal life, I really wanted to explore what a parent would sacrifice for their child, and whether the love between a father and daughter could save a child who's afflicted, or whether it would sort of bring them both into the darkness, is a question we're looking at in the show.
Yeah, I was like, what's the answer?
You have to
Well,
watch.
we'll find out. Obviously, Damien, what made you want to be a part of this?
I'm sorry, what?
What made you want to be a part of this?
Well, this is one of those things that we actors are always looking for. It shouldn't really be a difficult equation, because we just want a solid story, a beautiful character, and with different layers, great drama, profound issues. And I found all of that here. I was already a big fan of the film, and I was intrigued and curious to see what Andrew would do, transforming 2 hours into 10. And it was just beautiful how, he added this variety of beautiful characters and different layers and different subplots that make the whole, thing very rich.
Yeah. I mean, already I have to say, just like the number of you in this room feels like a twist on the story, because the movie is basically like 4 actors, maybe? Yep. So let's go around and talk a little bit about like who everyone plays. Do you want to start?
My role in Let the Right One In is Isaiah. He is a 13-year-old kid who is not the most favored in school, but he sometimes managed to find his way around it. He's kind of an easy target because he's into things that other people aren't. So the other kids in the school, they don't like that about him. They don't like that he's trying to be himself. They're trying to make him think that he needs to be someone else.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I play Eleanor Kane. Eleanor is a 12-year-old girl, space nerd. She loves everything about astronomy until she was bitten by a creature, in this case a vampire. And for the past 10 years, her and her father have been on the run, trying to stay alive, trying to get her food, anything to survive, until one day she comes across this boy who might change everything for her.
That's a great tease. Good job.
I play Naomi Cole. I am Isaiah's mom. I am also a homicide detective who happens to live next door to this creature and her dad. I am a single mom. I am raising a kid who I'm trying to protect in the world that's not so good to him. I am trying to figure out what all these intense, gruesome, and wild murders are that are happening in New York in a much more intense way than normal, and getting to know this family. Happy that my child has a friend, but not quite sure what's happening with this man right here.
My character's name is Claire Logan. I play a brilliant scientist. Brilliant. Whose life is upended in a matter of hours as soon as she comes home one night, to find that her family's past secrets are a lot more complicated than she thought. So, yeah, she's a very layered, three-dimensional woman, and ends up trying to find a cure eventually for this disease that is inflicting her brother and these other beautiful children.
Amazing. Let's take it around to the back.
Yeah, I play the role of Matthew, a guy who's somewhat traumatized by his time in war, and who's become a very loyal sort of fixer or you might say henchman to Claire and Peter's family. So he's a guy who is faithful to them and kind of willing to do whatever it takes to look out and protect them.
So I play Peter Logan, who so happens to be involved in that family drama that was mentioned previously. I am also a vampire, 16, and a bit of a skater boy, but becoming a vampire kind of forces you to start looking into other things in your life than skating and being a teenager. So he really is a lovely character because I feel like he is able to bring light into dark situations. Mm-hmm. He still has this teen energy about him whenever he's with his sister, which I really love, which I think was really well done.
Go ahead.
I play Mark Kane, a.k.a. the father of the vampire right here. This little thing right here. I was on my way of becoming an international rock star in the restaurant world. I'm a great chef, and but everything had to change completely, entirely, after my daughter was bitten by this creature. And as everyone knows, any father would do anything to keep his children safe, alive, and well fed.
As we know, not
I
cast
just wrote it.
shockingly.
So, yeah.
And here we have Zeke Dawes, who was, like so many people in New York, a young, fiery, up-and-coming business person with a dream who happened to go into partnership with Mark. And at some point, he is called on in his life to make a huge decision about supporting, loving friends and extended family through a very dark and deeply disturbing situation. So here we have it.
It's never a simple decision.
No, it's not.
Well, I want to throw it back to you, Andrew, because I think the thing I always loved about this story is there's so many vampire things in pop culture, and I think so many of them are about like the fun of it and like all the great, cool, sexy things a vampire can do. And this story also really is about like how difficult it can be and what like a curse it can be. What do you feel like ultimately this story is about?
I think it starts from exactly what you're describing, which is both the novel and the film took seriously what it would mean to never feel the sun on your skin, to never be able to eat any food but blood, and to have your existence rely on the death of others.
Yeah.
And though there's a certain amount of heaviness and bleakness, there's also an extraordinary, it creates a space for a lot of light and for a lot of love. And so I do think, I've heard Demian say, and I'm going to steal his line, that the show is a love story. And it's fundamentally a love story between a father and a daughter, but it's a love story between all the relationships you heard described. And our director, our fabulous director, Seif Mann, who deeply regrets he can't be here, always talked about visually with the motif for him was the light and the darkness, because he always felt that the center of our story was a tremendous amount of love.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say it's about.
So it's got everything, is what you're saying.
It's got everything, you know.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. And everybody else, stay
Thank
tuned to EW.com for all your New York Comic Con needs.